Yeah, what's it like to ride a Honda Forza after 4,000 miles? Stay tuned and we'll tell you. Hi guys, nice to see you again. This video is about what it's like to ride a Honda Forza after 4,000 miles and my take of what's I think can be improved. So stand by, here goes. Okay, yeah, well, I've actually done 3,999 miles, so 4,000 more or less. So as you can see, I'm in my garage, as you can see. Now obviously the clocks are brilliant, you know, very intuitive, easy to see, no problem. But when I was up in Scotland and coming back from my cousin's house in Kelso to a place called Newtown up in the up in the Scottish borders, it was absolutely pitch black and you couldn't see anything in front of your face, but it was brilliant. Okay, apart from one thing which I'm going to show you now. What's on the handlebars? You cannot see nothing. So that's one of my gripes, and I'll be telling you about it very, very soon. There is no backlit controls. I couldn't see a thing in the dark. I had to feel my way, and when I was riding, the cars in the opposite direction were flashing me because I was putting the wrong wrong button on. I was putting my my screen on when I thought I was putting something else on, so, you know, lowering my high beam. And that is another thing, the high beam is a bit too low, I'm afraid. It needs to be highed up. I mean, I couldn't see a thing. It was more or less like just over a dipped headlight. So as I say, those two things were pretty bad. And I'll tell you something about the other things. Okay. Hello guys, excuse me eating. Yeah, so what's it like to ride a Honda Forza after 4,000 miles? The overwhelming experience is pretty good, but there are some failings, and I'll tell you about them in just a minute. The bike is great. I took it over to France, everywhere. Scotland, never missed a beat. Fantastic. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the seat. And one of my subscribers pointed out that they now are doing a comfort seat for the Honda Forza, £225 in English money. Now, in my estimation, they shouldn't do comfort seats. They should have one as standard, but okay, it is what it is. I've had to put a gel insert in mine. You wouldn't tell, but I can tell on my backside. Also, the other thing was I changed my screen and it gave me a lot more protection, but the miles per gallon went down the tubes, unfortunately. So I put my old one on, which is quite adequate as well. Now, when I was riding in Scotland, I had to go over to my cousin who lives in Kelso, and while riding back, because it was the shorter, the shorter nights, it was absolutely pitch black. Great, I thought. But then the problems arose. The scooter never missed a beat. The clocks were fine. The headlamp could have been a lot higher on high beam. I've got to find out, perhaps somebody can tell me whether the high beam can be adjusted. It wasn't sufficient really. And the other main thing is the backlit things on the controls on the handlebars. So consequently, I was feeling about in the dark, and when a car was coming in the opposite direction, I was actually putting on the windscreen up or down, instead of taking it down to dipped headlights. So there's another scooter on the market. It's called a Zonte 310. I had a look at it. and it's the same sort of thing set up as most other scooters. I haven't actually sat on it, whether it's got a softer seat I don't know, but the big plus is they've got backlit controls. I thought, wow, what a great idea. Why couldn't all manufacturers do that? And also, they've got a TFT screen. Which I'm afraid Honda has missed the boat. Yamaha's took up that baton and come out with a great idea. Peugeot, the Peugeot new 400 GT. That's the same. Honda sticking with the old-fashioned clocks. They've missed the boat actually. They could have put an actual TFT screen on, like the Zonte. Now the Zonte is a Chinese, a good Chinese model. So why didn't they put it on the new model for 2023? Beggars belief. Yamaha have done it. Kimco has a seat. Now they don't do the 300 anymore. They only do the 125. The Kimco 125 scooter, the seat is absolutely fantastic. So that's my thoughts. You know, the miles per gallon is great. The top end is really good. It's no problem at all. In the 90s, so I mean, who needs that? Only 70 miles an hour. It's good for the overtakes and everything else. Plenty of storage, no problem at all. But there's shortcomings. If you want to go for a slightly better bike, I would suggest perhaps a Peugeot or a Yamaha. Or if your purse strings don't stretch for that, a Zonte, I think it's about £1,000 cheaper. You can check online anyway. It's got all the bells and whistles, and also it's got adjustable brake levers. You know, adjustable brake levers, backlit lights on your handlebars, a TFT screen, and I'm not sure about the seat. Oh, and the screen operates up and down. What's not to like? Well, for me, the front looks like a Star Warsy thing. It's a bit like a bit of a Marmite bike to me. I mean, you either love the front or hate the front. I don't like it, but anyway, I'm very pleased about the Forza. Apart from those other things, okay. Admittedly, you don't ride in the dark very often. You know, complete blackouts. But you might be on holiday. Say you're on holiday where there's no street lighting and everything else, and you're fiddling around. You're fiddling around with the controls. It's no good. And as I say, the reason for the short little video in my garage is the fact that it shows you can't see nothing in the dark. The actual clock and everything else is brilliant, but there's no backlit thing. Have a look at the Zonte anyway, and you'll see what I mean. So that's my thoughts actually. So perhaps you can give us a few comments on the actual Forza itself. I'm loving it, but they've missed the boat. I think they've missed the boat with the put on it. They could have put a TFT screen on it, as I say, and they could have put backlit controls like the Zonte, and even the petrol cap is electrically operated. I think the Honda Forza, somebody can correct me, I think it's cable operated. I think. And it's got all the bells and whistles as far as I'm concerned. I think it's got a stainless steel downpipe as well, which is great. You know, I know it's all about cost and everything else, but you shouldn't have to buy comfort seats or anything else. The bike is quite expensive enough. It should come with a standard comfort seat anyway. So that's my thoughts, guys. I'm enjoying the scooter, but there is a lot better scooters out there. Catch you later, guys, and remember, stay safe and look out for yourself. All right, take care. Bye.